Hey everybody, welcome. I'm just trying to get my tripod ready. We have a very awesome call and I'm very excited for today. I'm gonna give you guys a minute to get on here. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Happy Martin Luther King Day, just a very important day. And I know that I have 5 kids here, and my speaker's gonna have her kids at home too, so here we go. We might get interrupted. All right, welcome. Hey, Erin. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are having an awesome halfway through the month also. So today's the 15th of the month, and it is a pretty big day. So every 15th of the month, minus payday. Usually we get paid around the 15th or 16th or sometimes 17th. Again, it depends on if it's a weekend or different things. But I like to look at where my business is halfway through the month, right? It's the last day for LRPs to go through. It's really telling on where your month is and what you still need to do for the rest of the month. So I don't know if you guys want to do that too. It's every month I make a note. I go in the back office. How many people have we enrolled? How many people are in ranking up, right? How many LRP? How many points do we have? So it's just something to get in the habit of doing. Weekly is best, but by the 15th of the month, you should really know where your business is, okay? And also a good goal, I know it doesn't always happen, but a really good goal that I like to do is I like to try to hit my rank or really close to my rank by the 15th of the month, right? Because then you know it's in LRP. I already have my son coming in. Yes, I'm on a video. Do you want to quickly say hi?
Mommy.
We just say hi really quick. All right, Grace, I'm on a video and he's in here.
I didn't want
Right.
any
Can you take him off because I'm in the
chocolate.
video?
No.
They're having hot chocolate.
Mom, when I didn't want the chocolate in it, we have to just put it in.
Thank you, Grace. Can you bring him to the basement? You can play Minecraft. Okay, I thought that might happen. Anyway, then I will say that today's also the very last day to get the 200-point free frankincense deal. So if you or any of your customers, existing or new, order 200 points in one order, you will get a free frankincense automatically added to your account. This is the last day. It was a December deal that they extended for 2 weeks. Okay, go ahead, bring that in. And then shut that door, okay? Grace! Shut that door. Bye. I wish I could mute myself when I bring on my guest speaker. So anyway, well, let's bring her on. I just wanted to remind you guys of that deal. And don't forget about the New Year, New You. You guys are having amazing success with that. And I want to hear in the comments, how many classes have you done so far? How many classes do you guys have planned? And also don't forget about the Rose incentive that we're doing for the month. If you guys missed it last month, for everyone on the team, if you have 10 enrollments or more with a 100-point PV, you're going to get a free Rose roller bottle, the Touch from me. So I'm really excited. Okay, so our guest speaker that we have coming on, she is amazing. I really got a chance to really connect with her at the global conference that we went to, and I was blown away by her personal story. So I didn't say her name yet, but please share your oil story too. I'm going to ask her to do that. Since then, she's one of the top silvers on our team, one of the top enrollers month after month, and she is enrolled in Diamond Club. So this girl is headed for Diamond and beyond. So I'm really excited to bring in Laurie Rowe to our call. Okay, so let me bring her on here. I'm approving her. All right, Laurie, welcome. Super pumped that you're on.
Hi, that's so sweet. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I was just checking. Yes. So
okay, great.
Thanks for getting on. And I asked Laurie to get on here to share some of her business tips and tricks and what's been working. She is also works with a lot of professionals, and I just love that part of your story. But also, Laurie, I don't know if you got this or not, but I was blown away by your oil story with your daughter. And so I was hoping that you can share your oil story and then your business story and tips.
Okay, sure. So are you talking about the DDR Prime or the
Yes.
Peace Oil?
Oh, well, they're both good. Maybe both if you can
Okay.
quickly, because they're powerful. As soon as I talked to you, I came home and I was telling everyone about the DDR Prime, and
Okay.
I bought it myself, and like that was really inspiring to me.
Okay, yeah, I'll be glad to share that one. So today's MLK Day, as everybody knows, and most people.
Oh, we're losing
Did
you.
I? Yeah.
There we go.
Am I
Yeah.
back?
Yep.
Um, so everybody's probably home with their kids, and I actually came over to my mom's house for a little while. So they're in the other room and they're watching me. So my sweet little Daisy may hear me talk about her. I have a daughter. I have a 9-year-old son, Carter, and I have a set of 4.5-year-old twin girls. And one of my girls, Daisy, has had 2 brain surgeries, and she deals with some trauma on the brain and a lot of anxiety and several other things that I won't go into. And last April, I was in Utah with Elise Chedevi whenever we did the elite retreat. And I asked her, I said, what in the world would you recommend for someone like my daughter? And she said, well, I would recommend the DDR Prime. And I had no idea what she was talking about because I only knew of the DDR Prime as an option in pill form. And I also had heard it be referred to as for older people. And so I immediately went online and saw that they had just the regular bottle of oil. I say regular, it's a 30 milliliter, so it's not even a 15 milliliter. It's $55 for a 30 milliliter bottle of oil. And so I bought it. And when I got home, I started diffusing it in her room, and I really don't know what I was looking for. I just was diffusing it. And whatever I was looking for, I didn't find it. Nothing happened. Nothing magical happened. And that was around the end of April. So we did that for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then in the end of the month, we went on vacation. And when we came back, I decided to use it again. And I decided to put it on her feet this time and her spine. And so what I did was I took 10 drops of the DDR Prime and I put it in a 10 milliliter roller bottle. And then I filled it up with a fractionated coconut oil. And every night I would roll it on her spine and I would put it on her feet. And it started on a Sunday night. And on Monday morning, she woke up and she wanted to color, which for a 4-year-old on summer vacation is not unusual. And so what we did was we started coloring. And what I noticed that week was that every single day she was obsessed with coloring. And I don't mean like a casual, I want to color, like annoying, like over and over again. I mean, she would go for hours wanting to color. And I remember that Monday morning coming down and looking at what she was coloring and thinking, oh my goodness, the colors don't match up. It's very monochromatic. Everything was purple. It was very much out of the lines. And I just remember thinking to myself, we have such a long ways to go. And by Friday morning, she had colored obsessively all week long, even so much that one night she just wouldn't even go to bed. She wanted to color. So I just let her color in bed until she fell asleep. And on Friday morning, she woke up before the rest of the house, and I came downstairs and I found her at the kitchen table coloring. And what was on the page that she had colored was mind-blowing. She had colored very multidimensional. All of the colors were exactly where they belonged on that page, and everything was inside the line. And I called my husband down. I said, you have to see this. Is this my imagination? Like, look at what she did on Monday and look at what she's done today. And we both just were really blown away. And I said, the only thing that has happened this week is that we're using this DDR Prime on her spine. And that's the only thing I can imagine could be different. So I then showed it to her preschool director just to kind of like for validation. Like, am I crazy? Am I just really proud of my daughter? And the preschool director said, you're kidding. That is not the coloring of a 4-year-old. Like, that is really good. So that was in early June. And then in August, we put our girls in the same bedroom. And so by default, I was rubbing the DDR Prime on one girl at night. So I decided to rub it on the other one. And I kid you not, a week later, the other twin went through a coloring spell. And there was one Sunday where she sat on the couch for 7 hours straight and did not stop coloring. So I don't know that everybody will have like a overly zealous colorer on their hands, but I do think that there's something about the DDR Prime that is just remarkable. I have a couple on my team. They have 2 9-year-old autistic twins. when they started using the DDR prime, within 24 to 48 hours, they noticed a significant difference. Their daughter was previously not even able to be in a different room from her mom, and her mom went looking for her because she couldn't find her, and she was in a room on her own putting together a 500-piece puzzle. And the mom said, "This is not my daughter." And so they won't let their children go a single day without the DDR prime because they see that much of a difference, and their teachers notice it too. So that's our DDR prime story.
And that
Do you
was
have any questions about that?
in a 10 milliliter, right?
So I just put for children, and honestly, I use it for myself like this too. 10 milliliter, or in a 10 milliliter roller, I put 10 drops of the DDR prime, and then I just fill it up with the fractionated coconut oil. And I rub it on the back of the necks and then up and down the spine. And sometimes I do it on the feet, but not always. And now if I'm really on top of things on the way to school or before they leave for school in the morning, I just put it on all three kids. And I'll say, sorry, there's a shadow. I'm trying to avoid that. And I'll just make a comment like, hey, let's get our brain oil so our brains function well today. But that's how I refer to it, is this is our brain oil. I think it's great in that regard.
That's incredible. You're making me want to go put it on myself right now.
I know.
Wow, this is so motivating. Okay, Alice, what's the peace oil? Or share the peace story too.
Well, so my story with peace is that this same daughter has had major sleep issues. And so, of course, we've used all the sleep oils you could ever imagine. And then right before preschool or school started this past August, the night before, I decided to put Peace on everybody's feet because for those that don't know, Peace is the reassuring blend. It helps with anxiety. And within 5 minutes, she was asleep. And it wasn't just that she was asleep, it was that she was asleep without me in the bed with her. And she slept all night long. This was really a big deal. And we have now been using Peace since like August 17th. And we definitely know when we haven't used Peace oil.
Right.
I use it on her feet in the morning and I use it in the evening before bed. And once I started like kind of processing what was going on, I realized that this child was not dealing with a sleep issue like maybe many of us would deal with, just insomnia or inability to sleep. She was dealing with high anxiety because by the age of 28 months, she had been under anesthesia at least 5 times. And every time that she would awaken from anesthesia, something had happened. Twice she'd had a major brain surgery. And so to think about being in the in the mind of a 4-year-old who has been dealing with that, then they're afraid to go to sleep, and they're afraid to go to sleep without their mom because what could happen to them. And so once I realized she's dealing with anxiety, and it makes sense that once we kind of can control the anxiety, then the sleep comes. So I would encourage anybody that whether it's a 4-year-old or a 94-year-old that deals with anxiety, that Peace oil is really remarkable for anxiety.
Wow, I'm actually tearing up a little bit just because that is powerful, and I'm so glad that she's feeling that assurance. Mm-hmm. When you put the Peace oil on her feet, was that straight? Did you make your own roller bottle, or was that the touch?
I've done both.
Mm-hmm.
I do have just the pure oil, and every once in a while I will diffuse it, but I don't find that it's as effective when I diffuse it. I really believe that there's power in putting it on our feet, and even in my own body, I've recently started putting Serenity on my feet as opposed to just diffusing it, and it is giving me really deep sleep. So I do think there's something about putting it on our feet, even though we want to just diffuse it sometimes. Putting it on the feet, I'm finding, is really important. So to answer your question, I will either make my own roller bottle, pretty much the same ratio, 10 drops to a 10 milliliter bottle, topped off with the fractionated coconut oil. But Peace was on the BOGOs recently, and I just keep, I have like probably 5 touches because I don't ever want to be without it. I have it, I can never seem to find one when I need one. So just knowing that I have 5 around the house helps me think that I'll find one. So I use the touches. I really just need to put it like behind my ear, like, a pencil or something.
Yeah. Oh, they can, I wonder if your girls can bring those like little,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Or bracelets, and have it for school and different things. Okay. Awesome. I know I threw you on the spot by having
That's okay.
forgot to ask you to share that, but I was talking to you about my husband with my husband. We were out for dinner, and I'm like, you're not gonna believe who's gonna be speaking tomorrow on our call. And I was like, telling him all about your stories. I'm like, oh, I'll have her tell those stories. And so I forgot to tell you that.
That's fine.
You're so awesome. Thank you. So now, I mean, you're rocking your business. I mean, I think people can just feel that passion, especially when you have those amazing stories. But I mean, when you believe in the product, you are already a professional person in general, like with your career and your parenting and all that. So now it's with doTERRA, and we have a lot to learn from you. So I'm ready to just sit back and actually have my notebook here. Sorry. And I want to take notes along with everybody else on what you're going to share with us today.
Well, that's really kind. Thank you, Bonnie. And that's a nice compliment, because I don't always feel like I'm rocking my business, especially since about the last 7 weeks, I have not been able to do nearly as much as I want to do. But for the people that I haven't met and that don't know me, I started this business in February. And then I hit Elite the first month, and I became Premier around, I think, April. And then I hit Silver in July, and I've stayed Silver with the exception of October. And that's actually where I wanted to kind of pick up, because Bonnie asked me to talk about enrolling people. And because I have been blessed to have good enrollments, especially last fall. So I wanted to pick up in October and kind of tell you what happened. I had a really dismal October last year, and I was so discouraged. I came back from convention super excited, and I had classes all lined up, and I had events lined up, and I only enrolled one person the entire month of October. And poor Shelly Fuge, she's my upline, and I think she thought I was going to quit. And I think there was one day where she was like, just tell me you're not going to quit. I'm like, of course I'm not going to quit. Like, this is just the way it is, and I totally get that. But I was really discouraged. And so I remember kind of what I would call a defining moment on October 31st, and I had given up on hitting Silver again in October because it just wasn't doable. And I had to be okay with that, like that I was going to go back a rank. And I remember on October 31st, we were done with the trick-or-treating, and everybody was asleep, including Shelly, who had already hit her rank. And normally at the end of the month, we're up chatting with each other, and she'd gone to bed. Nobody was on Facebook IM to talk to me about my, bad attitude about I didn't hit my Silver rank this month. I really want someone to console me. And so it was just me and God. And I felt like the Lord said to me, you're going to claim November for enrollments. And I heard this number 20. I want you to enroll 20 people. And I said back to God, that's hilarious. Like, I am not going to enroll 20 people. I didn't enroll one single person this month. Or I enrolled one person, like on October 1st. And I just kept hearing it over again. You're going to do it, 20. And so I went to sleep, and I woke up like in the middle of the night, and doTERRA posts their monthly promotions like at 2:01 a.m. Eastern time, my time, because it's just like midnight 01 in Utah. And so I woke up, and it was like 2:30 in the morning. And so I was like, oh, they've posted their promotions. I want to see what the promotion is. And I could not believe that it was 20% off the enrollment kits. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, God, I'm totally going to do it. And the next morning when everybody resurfaced, I told Shelly, I'm like, you're not going to believe it, but I'm going to enroll 20 people this month. And I don't know if she believed me or not, but punchline, I did not enroll 20. I enrolled 18, but I think that's totally fine. I was really happy with 18. And I think anybody should be happy with 18 enrollments in any given month. But the way that it kind of went down was, even though I had not enrolled anybody in October, I enrolled one person, so I can't say I didn't enroll anybody. But even though I did not enroll what I wanted to enroll, like at minimum of 5 is my goal, I still did activities. And so I still had leads that were needing to be fostered. And I had done an event at a gym on October 30th. And so here we were 2 days later, November 1st, and I had those leads that I needed to foster. And I had some other events that I was going to be exhibiting at that month. I had my classes booked. I had everything, the wheels in motion. And So anyway, what ended up happening was that around the second week of November, the ball picked up, and I started enrolling, and I represented DoTerra, or I just did a booth at an event on November 12th, and I actually had people sign, like I had 2 people enroll on the spot with kits. I was really deliberate about how I messaged that I had a picture frame with maybe 2, I think it was the Natural Solutions and the Home Essentials kits, and I put the retail price. So this is what you would pay if it was retail. And then I crossed off retail, with like an X, and then I put, okay, this is the normal wholesale price, and I crossed that off, and then I put, and this is the reduced price for, just for today. And so I really wanted to create a perceived value. And I've carried that model now into just having at classes, and I really talk about what is the retail value of all of these products, and then what is the discount like that you're getting today. And it turned out that when you added the 20% to what they already got, it was like a 40% discount. Well, that's pretty cool. And so I enrolled those 2 people. And then the key that I wanted to mention about the events was that I was really relational. So when honestly, it was a cold event. It was in this awful place. It was not glamorous. There was actually nothing glamorous about this event. There was the people there weren't glamorous. It was like really, you had to really work to find the positives. And I talked to some other people that had been at this same event before, and they were like, oh yeah, this is not a very good event this year. But what I did was just, I would engage in whoever even seemed the least bit interested. And I could not believe I sold 2 kits that day. And then would you believe I got 2 people from that event in my class on Monday night. And so this was on Saturday. And what I did was I would invite them. I want you to come to my house and I want you to learn more about the essential oils. And then as soon as I got home that night, I texted them. On the spot, I put their phone number in my phone. As soon as I got home, I texted them, hey, Stella, it was so awesome meeting you today. I loved hearing about ... I really want you to come on Monday night to my house for this class. It's at 7 o'clock. I can't wait to see you. And I just kind of assumed she was going to come. And the thing about Stella was that she had already committed to buying the Home Essentials kit. And there was another young gal whose mom actually was the coordinator of the event, and her sister had more health issues than you could ever imagine. The sister had no interest in oils, but the girl that I was talking to was very interested. And she was like the sane one in their family. And so she came to my class, and I ended up that Monday night having 7 people, and it was like it was somebody from the gym, somebody from all these different things that I had been fostering, and of those 7 people, 6 of them bought that night, and the 7th one bought later that month. So that was like momentum. And let me tell you, once you start getting that momentum, I'm like, holy cow, I just got 6 enrollments plus the 2. I mean, I was already like, almost halfway to 20. And then that same week, so this was all the week before Thanksgiving, that same week, I ended up doing a class on a Wednesday at noon. I was just trying to switch things up and get creative on my class times. And a woman that I had met at church, she was new in town, and her husband is a doctor. And I hadn't even told her about oils, but she saw on my regular Facebook page that I was into oils, so she mentioned it to me one day. She's like, hey, I see that you're into oils. I'd like to learn more. And I was like, okay, great. And honestly, I forgot to follow up with her. And then my husband said, oh, don't forget that woman from Sunday school. You need to follow up with her. So I sent her a message. I was like, hey, I'm having a class if you want to come. And she said, oh, my husband wants to come too. Her husband, the doctor. So all of a sudden I had my first class with a doctor, and I had 2 other people in that class that had just been kind of fostering, along. And so before the class was even over, the doctor bought the Natural Solutions kit.
Wow. And
I even prefaced the whole class with, I've never had a doctor in my class. I hope everything I say is true from a medical perspective, like when you're talking about cells and you're talking about what happens. And so, every once in a while I would look at him and be like, is this right? Am I telling the truth? And he would say, yeah, you're right. And so, and as a little follow-up on that doctor, he bought, so that was like the week before Thanksgiving, and by the end of November, he had already placed another order of over $200. They've done an LRP of over 200 each month, and he's using them, and he wants to use them in his clinical practice once he has more stories of his own. So anyway, don't shy away from having a doctor in your class if you can manage that. But the real fun thing, so that was really fun. So I went into like the week of Thanksgiving, and I already had, over 10 enrollments, or like right at 9. So then we went into BOGOs. And so, right? And so the last time I did BOGOs, I kind of fell into the trap of just, ordering for whoever. But Mindy Spradlin did that amazing training where she said, don't miss the opportunity to enroll people. So I had a handful of people that ordered BOGOs, and I basically told them that I would, I came up with like this little spreadsheet invoice. And on that spreadsheet invoice, I said to them, I showed them, if you were a member, here's how much money you would save. And because you're not a member, here's what you owe. And every single person, with the exception of one, became a wholesale customer. And that's really not even included in my total amount that I count for enrolling that month, because they didn't buy over 100. But that ended up being one effective way to get new customers. So then we come to the last day of November, and I'm still like right around 9 new enrollments. I'm still very happy with this. I sold a ton of BOGOs. My rank was firmed. Everything was good. And my mom and dad had been in China for like 10 or 12 days. And on that trip, my mom had been using all of her oils and telling people about the oils. And the provost of the university where my father teaches, he and his wife were there too. And his wife wanted oils. And so I told my mom, she sent me a message from China. She's like, can you meet with her and talk to her about the oils? And I'm like, of course. So I said, but we gotta do it before the end of the month, because the enrollment kits are on sale. So I come to my mom's house this particular morning, and I kind of try to do like an abridged class for this woman. And she wanted to buy the Natural Solutions kit. And so I was, thrilled with that. Well, then I could kind of see her mind working, and I could tell that she was thinking about Christmas gifts. And I want you to know that this woman bought 5 kits. She enrolled herself, her 3 children, and her sister. With herself, she bought the Natural Solutions, and then I sold 4 Home Essentials kits to this woman. And I enrolled all of those under my mom, because they were legitimately, her lead. And so then I still, though, got commission on that, and it helped volume. And my mom, she doesn't even know it, but she ranked at Elite that month. She's probably watching, like, what did I do? And so, like, that is just so cool. I was like I could not believe it. In fact, her husband called her, and he's like, is there a problem with our credit card? Because we just got called from the credit card company that you've been buying a bunch of stuff on, like, back to back. And it was because of what she was buying with me. So that was so cool. And I kid you not, while I was ringing her up, I got an email and a phone call from 2 other people that had told me they wanted to, like, they were from previous in the month. I had tried to get them to buy, they wouldn't, but somehow they remembered the end of the month, the sale ends. I want you to know, on that day alone, I sold 9 more kits, including a diamond kit. And it was all follow-up. It was all seeds that I had put in as far back as April. People that came out of the woodwork. So that's kind of a unique story, because it was 20% off. But at the same time, I want to point out that I set a goal. And I knew my mindset going into November was, I'm going to enroll people. And then I followed up with people. And when I had new leads, or whenever I had leads that maybe needed nudging, I kept reaching out. I kept making it work. I normally would do classes on Thursday night at 7, and in November I scheduled them different times, so that I always had an option for people to come to. And I just still feel really blessed. And then my goal in December was really, really, really modest, because it was a very busy month for our family. And my goal was to enroll 3 people, because I wanted to qualify for Diamond Club, which I was able to do. And so my goal was 3 people. And what was really cool was that I got invited to speak at an event the middle of November. And I kid you not, I had not even followed up with those people. In fact, I still haven't followed up with all those people. But this one woman from that event called me on the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and she said, I was just at somebody's house. Their daughter sells the same oils that you sell. They say there's this oil that makes you sleep. Can you come over and talk to my sister and me about oils? Immediately. It was basically, she wanted me to come that moment, and I had to postpone it to the next day. and they bought 2 Natural Solutions kits. I mean, it was crazy. But so being available, following up, etc. But the other thing is Becky Farrant did this amazing video, and she probably doesn't even think it was that amazing, although I've told her that it changed my business, about how to do an effective close. And that video, if you don't have it in your group here, you need to repost it, because it's about basically,
Yeah.
it's how to present the kits. And she basically uses this language. If money was no option, I would recommend you start with this kit. And she's referring to the Natural Solutions kit. And here's why. If you can pop a pill, you need these vitamins. And she talks about the lifelong vitality in the closing. I had always talked about the lifelong vitality on that spread when you're talking about the different products. And when I shifted that, and I know that seems really, really simple, but I made that shift, and I have sold now more Natural Solutions kits in that 1 month than the entire time of my business. So those are some of the things. I ended up enrolling 5 in December. The other 2, I was actually kind of surprised. They were, again, seeds I had planted a long time ago, and they sprung up. So you just never know when things are going to spring forth. But you've got to set goals. You can't give up. Keep fostering those relationships. And just so you know, that's still a lesson for me to learn here in January. Like, I speak to myself when I say that. But those are that's my story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You are amazing. I am getting messages and texts and comments.
Really?
With
Oh my goodness.
freaking out about you. I can't even like say anything after that. Wow. Okay. So please comment below with something amazing about Laurie for having her share all of that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I mean, like, literally my phone is blowing up, my messages are going off. I'm like, what happened? Wow. So you're already a diamond. My goodness, that's amazing. I wrote some notes down, but you already said everything. I'm proud. You are inspiring the whole team. Everything that I said, you are in action mode, building momentum. I love what you said about going back to April, because the work that we're doing now, even though you are obviously kicking butt daily, I love what you said. The seeds sometimes have been planted 6 months ago or 7 months ago, and you are watering and giving it sunshine and the positivity, and they are you're building a forest, girl. Oh my gosh.
I hope so.
You are. Wow. Abundance mindset. You're assuming the sale. Things in motion. Positive. Following up. Determined. Massive momentum. Activity. I love everything that you had to say. You guys, what questions or comments do you have for Laurie? And Shelly is her upline, and she says she has the most amazing downline ever. That you're such an inspiration. Karen says, thank you so much. This is inspiring and purposeful. Aaron was texting me saying, like, the emojis of freaking out with, you're so inspiring. And, yeah, this is so awesome. So many great things that you have going on, and your passion is phenomenal. Wow.
Thank you.
You guys, you're welcome. What other questions or comments do you guys have for her now that you have her on? And Laurie, we are really honored that you're here. And your kids watching should be very proud. You're so awesome. They have an awesome mom.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
And Karen says, yes, I believe in watering seeds. Never give up. And, you know, the other thing, Laurie, I really loved how you said you had 1 enrollment and then you went to like freaking 18.
Yeah.
And I love that you said, you know, that you had a goal that you thought was crazy, but then you're like, okay, I'll do it. And then when you were in that like mindset of you're enrolling like all these kits and then people are calling you and texting, it's like you're putting that attraction out there.
Right.
And abundance mindset. And so of course people are wanting to call you, and because why wouldn't they? Everybody wants a piece of what you have. You know? I mean, it's just so awesome. Wow. So you love, okay, 1:35. Good. We're right on time. You are amazing. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. You guys, if you are friends with her, go on her wall and like let her know in public how much she inspired you. That way, you know, all of her friends can see too that she's so inspirational to everybody, and just thank her. And we are really blessed to have you. So congratulations, and thanks. Definitely want you on again. So
thanks. Well, next month starts Diamond Club, so that's the BHAG. What'd you say?
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see what you do during Diamond Club. We'll be recognizing you as a diamond soon.
I hope so.
Good. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for getting on and listening, and thanks for sharing, Laurie. Everyone, have a lot. All right, bye.
Bye.